I'm Clare and this is my husband Noel, and we got married on the 4th of April, and we had our ceremony and reception here at Redcastle Hotel. So we initially chose Redcastle Hotel, I think, because of the views.
Yeah.
We had been at weddings here before, and we loved both the reception area and the drinks.
Well, we liked having the ceremony and the reception in the one place.
Yeah.
And then it's so big as well. It was
Yeah.
for the guests, they could mingle and move around.
Yeah.
And
There's plenty of areas.
It was
in
great
the
for them. They
hotel.
could spend the whole day here, really.
Yeah.
And, they didn't feel like...
Yeah, they were enclosed in
Yeah.
one place, yeah.
Oh, definitely.
And both of the rooms that we chose have just magnificent views.
Yeah.
And we were very lucky with the weather, so it meant that our drinks reception
Yeah.
upstairs also was just gorgeous. The views were really shown off,
Yeah.
which was what we wanted. It was the setting.
It's just exactly the way you wanted it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we loved about having both the ceremony and the reception in one venue was the fact that everything was in one place. It made it a lot easier for the guests. They were here in one place.
They were all
the time.
very relaxed, like before you arrived, but when I was upstairs, they're all up. Some of them were having a wee drink and you could kind of go around and it was all very relaxed. And,
Yeah. And I think that it made the drinks reception lovely. We all went up the stairs, and Noel and I went off obviously to have our photos taken. But it meant that the guests were all in one place, and they all had a chance to mingle with each other. Because there were some guests who didn't know each other. So it was lovely. And our video, the video that came back showed us the drinks reception, and it was lovely just to see everyone sitting.
If you're in a chapel or whatever, after that, the guests
People
kind of go their own way, whereas they were there all day together. Like,
it was lovely. Yeah, it was lovely.
It was a whole day event, like.
And the feedback that we got from people both that night and following on was that it was so relaxed.
Yeah.
Once they were here, they were here. There was no, do we need a taxi to get somewhere else? Or, where are you going and when we meet and what time's the dinner? They were here, everybody had a chance to just relax, and they were called for dinner whenever they needed to. So everything
dinner's ready,
really
let's
well.
go downstairs.
Yeah, it was. It made the day very easy for both us and the guests. Yeah. A lot of our guests had never been to a ceremony in a hotel before, and that was a huge... We had so much feedback being like, the ceremony really shocked people. Because most people had been to weddings here before, but they hadn't been to ceremonies.
They didn't know what to expect.
No, exactly. They just didn't. And the fact that it was so easy going. But you had never been to a ceremony.
No.
You'd never been to a civil ceremony.
I was at one out in Portugal before. This was
But
nice.
most of the guests had never been. And
Old-fashioned.
afterwards, everybody commented on the ease of the day and just how lovely, and the fact that it's half an hour.
Yeah.
It was lovely. That very much was the feedback that came. A lot of the feedback, even from our friends, was about how easy the ceremony was, and we felt it, from being how nervous you are at the back, and I got off the car at the entrance to the hotel, and Emer was there straight away, and I was like, I'm feeling really nervous. And she was like, what can we do? And I was like, I need a shot. And she was like, okay, which shot do you want? And I was like, a Sambuca. And 5 seconds later, there's a Sambuca in my hand. And she was like, right, this is what we're going to do. We're coming down here. We went down the stairs. And she was there the entire time. It was so
she
easy.
was there the whole time,
Yeah, it was.
But you would never get that in a chapel,
Nah.
Not everyone will want that, but some people will.
The ease of it was something we loved. The ceremony, yeah, definitely. Emer was there all day. I remember during the meal just seeing her walking along, and I was like, oh my God. And we felt like, because Redcastle Hotel obviously do wedding ceremonies a lot in a year, and we felt like ours was the most important thing that ever happened in the hotel.
Wasn't just another day like that to them.
And from the minute, I don't know, did anyone meet you when you came through the door? From the minute I came through the door, Emer was there, and she was down the stairs, and we had already been introduced to Gary, but again, she introduced him for the meal, and he'd be here, and if there's anything wrong with the meal or if there's anything you need, and quite frequently during the meal, it was just like, everybody's okay, everybody's sorted. And when he was leaving, he introduced us to the next member of staff. So we always knew that if there was something wrong, we always knew who to go to. We always knew the face that was in charge, and that was a huge thing, because there's things on the day that you don't realise.
Even with Emer, because we'd met her quite a few times even before, so on the day, like, you
knew her.
It was someone familiar, like, you know, it wasn't just could have been anybody, but you know, it was good to have that sort of familiar face. Like.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was really lovely to have dealt with her the whole way through, and then have her on the day as well. It was lovely. It was really, it really put us at ease. Yeah, it was. And you would, I'm sure there was other things going on in the hotel, but I felt like she was like, right, your wedding is the most important thing, and how do you want it?
Yeah.
And that's the way you'll have it. She was fantastic. Yeah. So you do put your faith into people, and we really did. We put our faith into her, and she was lovely. But the fact that it really followed through right until we were all on the dance floor, you know, even like I had got like light up glow sticks for the dance floor, and like here comes Emer while we're on the dance floor with the 2 baskets of glow sticks. Like she was here to the bitter end, and it was just lovely to see that follow through, and to know that it wasn't just get you in the door, get it done, get it over it, that's it. And I just assumed in my head that once the meal was done, that would be very much the hotel being like, well, that's our step back, you know, the band takes over and then it's whatever the guests do. But it's the fact that Emer was here, and Gary and some of the other members of staff were here, and they were sorting, and is everything okay? And you know, I remember just passing through from the bar and being stopped by one of the members of staff and just been like, is everything okay? And I was like, yep, all's good. And they were like, great, okay, buffet will be served in half an hour. I was like, great. So it was just lovely to see that it went on right to the end, right until we got to the residence bar. We were looked after. Yeah, we'd spoken to Emer that week before, the Thursday before we'd come out, and we'd spoken to Emer about, and she'd walked us through, you know, from the start of the stairs what we were going to have, and we kind of walked her through some of the decor ideas. And I remember being up at the top of the ceremony and kind of looking down and being like, it was exactly how I had described it to her, every piece of it. It was very clear from our day that the experience they have here, from working with weddings, obviously the knowledge that they have really serves them well on their days, both for the ceremony and for our reception. They really, you could tell that she had, and the staff here as a whole, had worked many weddings, and the experience that came with that really served them well on the day. You could tell. Yeah, they really
seemed to have a care about what they were doing. Like,
you know. Every one of them. Yeah, right to the end. Yeah.